What's up, everybody? This is Ty Tribbett, and you're watching Brand News. Keep it locked.
Hello and what's good? I'm so glad to see that you're back for another BNZ World Report, and I'm Christopher Martin, and I'm going to bring you a couple of recent stories from the many we feature Monday through Friday here in our News to Know section about individuals and events making a difference around the globe. But before I go any further, you know I have to thank all of you on behalf of myself and Team BNZ for all the awesome ideas and leads you've been giving us to great stories. We need to always thank you for the encouraging and inspiring messages you've sent to us via email, Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, and all of that about the news we provide here at Brand News. So without further ado, let's report some. Our first News to Know story comes from journalist Marshawn Evans at Black Enterprise, and the title reads, 3 Ways How to Manage the Opinions of Others. I can use this. What you listen to leads you. As a reinvention strategist and branding mentor to executives and entrepreneurs around the globe, Evans regularly reminds professionals that their current path is a product of the past or a past mindset. That mindset is usually shaped by our life experiences and encounters with other people. Far too many people chase riches instead of making choices based on their inner reason. Even more climb the corporate ladder only to get to the top and discover that's not what they were looking for after all. For that reason, you should pay careful attention to what and to whom you listen to. We often find ourselves led by the opinions of other people who will never live our lives. Unconsciously, however, we end up living our lives for them and not for ourselves. One of the dangers is few make the transition from childhood to what adulthood is supposed to be. Not learning what to think, but how to think. That is Evans' approach when it comes to business mentoring and coaching entrepreneurs and executives through Evans' program with the Me University. After all, if everyone is thinking alike, then someone isn't thinking. What's more, if you never learn to stand for something you wholeheartedly believe in, you'll eventually settle for something you don't. Read this complete article through our News to Know section that will lead you to her article at Black Enterprise. Now on to our next story. Our next story in the News to Know section at brandnews.com is from writer Eric Sass at Media Post, and it's More African American Teenage College Students Use Twitter. Eric is always curious about the ways different groups use social media, including differing levels of adoption and engagement based on age, gender, and ethnicity, and so on. But he's also aware that data reporting to show such differences should be taken with a grain of salt. In one recent example, a study says African Americans are more likely to use Twitter than the population at large. Eric found this very interesting, but it needed to be qualified by the sample population, i.e. college students. According to a survey of first-year college students at the University of Illinois at Chicago's published online by New Media and Society, Twitter in general is making big inroads among college students, with the percentage using the microblogging service jumping from 3.6% in 2009 to 17.8% in 2010. And there were indeed some remarkable differences along racial lines, with 37% of African American college students using Twitter in 2010 compared to just 21% of white college students. Even more interesting was the reason why. African American college students were more likely to describe themselves as being interested in celebrity and entertainment news, and many said they joined Twitter just to follow celebrity accounts. These findings are certainly interesting and valuable to the degree that they illuminate some of the social media behaviors of college students from various ethnic groups. I invite you to read this complete article at Media Post through our News to Know section at brandnews.com. Now let's check out a special report from our Team BNZ. This one is introducing a young man who has been a blessing to me, helping me with the new radio show at WBNZ Radio on our website. And big ups to Jabari Payne and especially George Byrne for creating a story I know you'll all be interested in.
What's going on, everyone? I'm George Burns, and welcome to another edition of Team BNZ Special Report. This week's story is one of Florida's hottest radio personalities. He goes by the name of Sean Woods, aka Sean D. Check it out. Alright, y'all, 90.5, the Flavor Station, always represent that real hip hop and R&B. That will set it off on your radio. Hey, and I'm about to set it off for real for all my cute dolls out there. Hey, we about to crank it up, man. George Clinton. Atomic Dog, yeah. I say root to the Qs. My name is Sean, better known as Sean D on the radio. Catch slogan is "You Can't Hate Sean D." Originally from Daytona Beach, Florida, Volusia County, 386 area code. And right now, here in my office where I hold the position of being the operation manager for WANM 90.5 FM, the college radio station here at Florida A&M University in Tallahassee, Florida. Yeah, well, I actually came to FAMU, you know, came to school, didn't really want to be in college, honestly. You know, love my mom, but you know, she encouraged me to come to school. I came to school, and actually while I was in class, you know, one day I was very discouraged about being in college because, you know, it's like you start hitting that real life situation, you know, and money becomes an issue and stuff like that. And luckily one day I ran into this guy named Keith Miles, who's actually my boss right now, the GM, the general manager for 90.5, and he made me make him a promise that I will always graduate from college if I didn't do anything else. Luckily, man, I've been a great impact on the students and the youth in Tallahassee, and I really take that job seriously. It's pretty much like a title I've given myself because I know what kind of impact I have on the community with the students, especially the elementary and the middle school and the high school students. And you know, I take it very seriously that they listen to me and they look up to me. And I feel like every day it's a job that I have to just stand up to. You know, I can't be out here clowning and wilding every day, you know, walking around smoking and drinking. You won't catch me in any of those type of pictures. I can't preach that stuff to them, and then they see pictures of me on Facebook and Twitter. And you know, I can't talk one way on the radio, then get on the Twitter and, you know, I'm talking real reckless. So I'm glad and I'm appreciative that the youth take to me like they do. And I think when they look at me and they see that I look young, they kind of feel a little bit better, like, oh, you know, Sean D, I can relate to him a little bit more, rather than seeing somebody who has, you know, the whole shirt and tie on everyday type thing. You know, they kind of feel like you're talking down to them. You know, I kind of try to go sit in the audience and sit next to them and, you know, let them know, hey, listen, I've been in your shoes. You know, I wasn't born with that whole silver, gold spoon, platinum spoon in my mouth. You know, I know about waking up to gunshots. You know, I know about standing next to somebody while they got shot. You know, I know about that type of stuff. And, you know, I just want them to understand that it's a struggle every day for even myself. You know, everything, what they say, everything that glitters isn't gold. Right. So, you know, it's not easy, but, you know, I appreciate the struggle because it makes me appreciate the craft that I'm working in.
For more information about this story and others, go to brandnews.com.
Now for our last but not least story is from writer Elizabeth Stewart at the Deseret News, and it's The Power of the Gospel. Can Black Churches Survive Turbulent Times? African Americans of all major racial and ethnic groups in the United States are most likely to report a formal religious affiliation according to the Pew Research Center's Forum on Religion and Public Life. They pray more frequently and attend church services more often than the general population. Even among those who do not claim affiliation with a particular church, 3 out of the 4 say religion is very, very important in their lives. Close to 60% of the nation's African American population chooses to worship in a predominantly Black church, and yet the Black church is facing turbulent times. Like many of their peers, the rising generation of African Americans is less interested in religion and find the idea of a predominantly Black congregation less appealing than their parents did, studies say. The recession also has hit the Black community disproportionately hard, shuttering hundreds of churches across the country due to foreclosure. But the greatest challenge may come from a shift in emphasis as preaching focuses more on individual prosperity than community uplift. Some scholars speculate the decades-old power the Black church has exercised the soul of the African American community is dead or on its way there. I really would like you all to read the entire article by Elizabeth at thedeseretnews.com through the News to Know section here at Brand News. I'd like to know, do you think it's dead? Well, holla back at me at my news at brandnews.com, or reach me through the Twitter or emails, just going to brandnews.com. But in the meantime, I look forward to seeing y'all all next week, and God bless you and have a great week, you guys. Hang in there. It's all good.